Hello, welcome to Simply Budgets. My name is Jillian, and on this channel, you will see our journey through paying off debt, cash stuffing to be able to save for the things that we want to do in life, and really just simplifying our lives and our budgets. So I wanted to do a walkthrough of what I use as my budget binder. So this is something that I've created myself on Canva. But I know there are lots of great ones out there. I just kind of, after reviewing several, there were pieces that I liked from different ones, and I just decided to put something together for myself. So I've got my year at a glance. I'm not really sure if this is something that I'm going to use, but I do like to be able to quickly look at it and know like where we're at. I might mark off like when each of our paychecks are, because my husband and I get paid on alternating weeks. So my thought is that I might like highlight each. So like he got paid yesterday, so then those would be the weeks that we get paid, just to kind of see what it's going to look like for us, how many, like where they're going to fall and whatnot. But haven't quite figured out how I'm using this yet. I will keep you updated. And then I've got kind of a financial overview page, so that at the end of every month I can go in and update what we had for income, expenses, savings, and debt, so that at the end of the year I can quickly see basically our financial overview, as it says. Then I've got a monthly bill tracker. So what I've done is I've listed out all of our monthly bills. I've got all of the months of the year, and then I just have, they're a little big for my circles, but I have washi dots that I'm just going to be like, as they're paid that month, mark it off, and then I can make sure that we've not missed anything. I also have a sinking funds tracker sheet, same sort of concept, except I've worked it out so that like there are some of our sinking funds that are going to be paid, I'm going to contribute to monthly or like, and things like that. Then there's some that are annual. So like if we've got memberships, for example, like this is kind of separate from this, I guess I should explain. These are all of the sinking funds that we have and that we are contributing to. But from these, there are a few things that are paid either quarterly or annually. So I wanted to be able to have somewhere to track that they were done and be able to like check it off, that sort of thing. So what I have done is, so Pretty Litter, it comes out of, it's actually not even listed here because it's actually stuffed every week, but from our pet care fund, the 112,770 quarterly, which is for the kitty litter that we have delivered to the house every quarter. So there was some in there'll be one this month, so, and then in April and July and October. So I would then mark off that that's been paid for that quarter, and that's the amount that's due every quarter. And then for the other ones, it would just be like when we've hit $85 for that month, check it off, that sort of thing. And then other things that like, so out of our memberships, we've got Prime that's due November 2nd, Canva's due the 25th, and Costco will be January 1st of next year. We've already paid for that because I had accounted for that in our memberships envelope from last year. So this is just a nice way to be able to make sure that we're on track from that. This is our sinking funds goals. So I broke it down. When I originally designed this, I didn't think that I would want a weekly number. I just thought, oh, I'm going to set it up so that I can see what my monthly goal is. But then I really felt like I needed to see what I needed to contribute to each of these sections every week in order to reach our goal. So that's why you'll see two numbers here. In the future iterations of this budget binder, or these budget pages, there will be a column that says monthly and weekly. Just something that I discovered as I was working my way through this, that I really wanted that separation. Then I have online spending tracker, so that if there's anything that I want to spend online, I can track that and go from there. I'm not 100% sure that this is something I'm going to use, because you will see in each month I have an expense tracker, and I really think that the best spot to track that spending would be for in each month. This seems like it's a little out of place. So we'll see at the end of the year if I've actually used this, and if I haven't, then I will remove it for next year. And I have yet to fill it out, but I have a spot for memberships and subscriptions. So I will list out what the annual and monthly cost is for each of those. Then we've got the debt section, which if you've been here on my channel, you would have seen me go through and lay out all of our debt. I show our real numbers. I am happy to talk about them. We are real people. We've made real mistakes, and we are making real changes for future financial freedom. So our total debt amount is $83,668.82. That was as of January 1st. Each quarter, I've decided that I will do a quarterly update for you so you can see the progress that we're making and go from there. So these are our debt payment trackers, and that's all of it. Like, it's just literally one for every one of our debts that we have. Then I've got my monthly section. So this is our monthly calendar. I designed this so that like it literally lists out what is due on what day. Easy way for me to just have quick at a glance view. And then what I've done is I've taken washi dots and I have gone in and identified that from the pay that comes on the Friday, these are the bills that'll be paid. From the one that comes on this Thursday, these are the bills that'll be paid. Kind of the same concept that the Budget Mom does. You go through, you highlight everything. Instead, I just highlight the day, knowing that everything on that day is going to come out of the correlating pay for the color. This one is, yeah, you're still on screen. The one that I originally designed, I didn't like it after I printed it and saw what size it was going to be on the A5 papers, because that's what size this binder is. It's A5. And actually, I forgot to mention, this budget binder is actually from Minimalistic Budget. I will link her below. So if anybody is interested in supporting her small business, I love supporting small businesses. So her quality of her binders is wonderful. I have a couple others from her. So Minimalistic Budgets is where this binder is from. But anyway, I digress. When I saw how small this actually printed on A5 paper, I decided that this really wasn't going to work for me. So I've just left it there, but really, I'm not going to use it. I know that. The only reason I've left it in here is because I do like the monthly review that is on here. Like, I want to look at, like, it doesn't even have to be budget related, but main highlights of the month, things that I learned I'm grateful for, and things I want to do better next month. So if I have a bad month and I've spent too much, or we went off budget, anything like that, I want to be able to record it here and kind of reflect on it and learn going into the next month. This is our monthly budget overview. I sit down with my husband at the beginning of every month and we talk about the numbers, and we figure out how much we want to be putting towards debt, what our goals are, that sort of thing. And I see I missed adding something up here. So while we're looking at it, let's do it. I think it's 2,000 is what it's going to add up to, but yep, it's 2,000. Oh yeah, I wrote it down here. But anyway, we talk about this together. We estimate what our incomes are going to be. His varies, mine stays the same. So every 2 weeks, I know I'm paid this amount of money. It's always nice when we estimate an amount and it's about $500 more. I love seeing that in the budget. It's nice to see, and means that we'll be able to pay a little bit more on some of our debt. Now, I know some of you may be wondering, if you've not been here before, you wouldn't have heard my explanation, but if we have such a large amount in debt, why are we putting so much towards savings? Well, I enjoy the savings challenges. I enjoy hitting the goal, getting to mark off that I've put another little bit into those savings challenges. So we've talked about it, and what we do at the end of each month is we will sit down and determine which of our debts is going to get this extra amount. So it's not that this money isn't going to debt, it's just at the end of the month is going to be a lump sum payment. It's not going to be worked into our weekly amounts. I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, that's a lump sum payment we get to make on it outside of our other payments that we are making on our debts. So whether you agree with this method or not, that's okay. We're okay with it, and it's our budget. So then I also have an expense tracker in here. So this is where I'm thinking that each month I'm going to go through, and if we've make any online purchases or things that aren't taken, like that don't come from our envelopes, like if we've got something that we have to put on a credit card or make some online shopping, I want to do it here. And then I want to unstuff these envelopes and put that money back in the bank. We worked really hard through the months of October through December to save up an emergency fund in our checking account. So we have a $1,000 buffer in that account. But that doesn't mean that that money is free and clear to spend. That money is expected to stay there, but if we dip into it, it needs to be returned from our sinking funds or our envelopes and put back in the bank so that we always have that $1,000 there. So that's how we're going to handle that. And then just the cash envelope breakdown. And then I have my weekly wallet tracker. I have my wallet's not up here, but I have a wallet that is from the Aesthetic Dollar that actually I'm able to put envelopes in. So every time I do a cash stuffing, I will take some money out of our main categories just so that if I'm out and about, I have some money to pull from. And then if at the end of the week I don't use it, it either goes back into those envelopes, or we will roll it over into savings challenges or onto debt. And then I've just got the rest of the month laid out with another paycheck bill tracker. I will have to print a couple more of these because we have 4 pays in a month that we need to account for, but currently I just have 2. And then at the end of each month, I have it set up so that we can do a monthly debt review. So I want to look at the end of each month where we're at, what progress we're making, and things like that. So this is kind of like a check-in at the end of each month. This will be our net worth review. So we want to be showing that obviously by paying down debt, our net worth is increasing. So that would be nice. And then the final one is the monthly debt and savings breakdown. So I want to see the difference of how much we paid in debt, how much we put into savings. This number, I can tell you right now, isn't really going to be that high during all of this, because we really want to aggressively pay down our debt. So we will focus on the savings once we are out of debt. But I was designing it with the future in mind, so that's why it looks like this. And then I, excuse me, goodness, too much talking today. Have a little sip of coffee. That'll carry me on. Anyway, then we've got just like the rest of the month. So I've got February. I think I actually have all 12 months in here right now, but I'm thinking that as things get filled up that I might have to take some of these out. But for right now, that's what is in here. So if anybody has any questions, feel free. And then at the back of here, I've just got our oil slip. So every time we get oil, I just keep the receipt so I know how much we've spent on that. I've got some savings trackers, savings challenges. So I created this one. It's a miscellaneous savings challenge. Normally I laminate them, but this was just an extra one that I hadn't ended up laminating. And then Minimalistic Budget, when she sent this binder, she sent this savings challenge of Hey Big Saver. So that's just tucked in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. we don't actually, in Canada, we don't have $1 bills. We have coins, and we don't actually count our change. Really hard to explain, but we don't actually count the change. So like, let's say I'll give you a better example. Let's say I spend $24.75 from our groceries, for example. What I would do is I would show a debit of $25 from that account, and the extra 25 cents goes into our change jar, if that makes sense. If it's not close to the whole dollar, like I always round everything up or down the $5 in our envelopes, because I don't want to have change in my envelopes. They're not designed for that. I don't use the zipper envelopes in our everyday envelopes, so it's not easy to have change there. I do have a change purse that I have in my wallet that if something was that I keep for the week, for example. So if I break a bill and there's change, it goes in that change purse. If it's $20.25, I pull the 25 cents out of that, but I don't account for that when I do my adding up on my, so these are our weekly funds. So for example, let's see if I can find something here. Eating out is a great example. So on my category tracker, I'll have that I took out $20. Well, I'm pretty sure that it was actually 21 and something, but I had that change in my change purse at the time that I made that purchase. I accounted for the $1.28 out of the change that was in my purse, so that I only subtracted $20 from this category, so that left us with a balance of $40. Then at the end of the week, I deposit all of that change into our jar, and at the end of the year, we will count that and we will roll it and take it back to the bank, and it will go in our savings. So that's kind of how we're handling the change. I know that may seem strange, but it makes it really challenging in Canada, where we don't have $2 bills, we don't have $1 bills, we have coins for everything, and they're just not practical in envelopes like this. So that's how we've decided to do that. It's been working well for us. We've been doing that since October, and we've not run into any challenges. So we'll see how that goes for us. So that's the my budget binder setup. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask below. I would ask that you would like and subscribe, so that I can continue to put out content, and that you can come along on our journey to pay off some debt and earn some financial freedom. So thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.